Well, howdy. Welcome to episode one of Brew and View. I'm Dan Agnew, also known as Ledgerman.
Joe James, aka Prodigy.
So yeah, we're gonna try out something new. The general idea here is that we have solicited some ideas from the community on decks we could build. Joe and I are then gonna go kind of off on our own in real time and try to put something together. This way you can kind of see our thought process and how we go about deck construction. And so maybe that's helpful to the community out there. Um, After we go through that, we're going to go and face off in a game on Octagon, see how our decks do, and then maybe we'll even go back and do some iterating on that or talk about ways we could improve our decks in the future.
Yep, definitely do at least some post narratives about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this. So the community actually really came through with quite a few responses here. As you can see, this is the post we put up about 2 weeks ago, and there are quite a few responses. Joe, what stood out to you as something that looked interesting?
So one of the things I was looking at that caught my eye first was the control points on dudes uh, as a win as a win condition. Kind of getting away from uh, who was it? Jay Jester that suggested this. Where was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. Win conditions on card games that are just different. So instead of putting it on deeds, putting it on dudes. Um, so I will probably go with something like that. I don't know. What were you thinking?
Yeah, that's certainly an interesting way to go, and not something you'd see in most decks where you're looking to have control points on locations instead. Yeah, I actually really fell in love with this first suggestion here from Doomdog, where he talks about finding ways to have out of faction abomination decks, and specifically running abominations in first peoples. Um, as you're probably aware, there are no abominations native to first peoples, um, so clearly we're running a lot of out of faction abominations there, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about putting that together, but it sounds like something that would be interesting to do. I also have to point out the comment below where someone said the literal Lydia Bearhand deck. That took me way too long to figure out what the joke there. I was like, wait, is Lydia Bearhand good in this deck? I don't think so, but that was
Very
actual bare
thematic, though.
hands. You know,
No, I know there's a ton of really good suggestions, and I do agree with Last Walter who said that it would probably be more helpful for him and the community at large if we did more, at least semi-serious decks instead of just some of the purely thematic or some of the sillier ones. And I imagine we might do at least a round of that at some point, but at least for the first round or two, we probably do some more at least semi-tenable decks.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think my intention here was to, I don't know, I guess share my thought process with the community on how I go about putting decks together for people that may be new to the game or aren't as familiar with Doomtown Deck Builder and some of the features that has. It's a great tool, and I think the goal here is really to put together um, some interesting decks with going off some of these more challenging restrictions that the community is providing.
Yep.
And that's really what I was thinking. You if you put some rails around what you can build or what you're trying to build, then really that forces some creativity and some innovation in the deck building. So it was nice to have all these comments and suggestions.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely appreciate all those, and I think it'll be super interesting to see, like, for me even, I've been playing this game since it was reloaded, I guess. And I think it'll just be super interesting to see like even how you build a deck because I'm sure there's all sorts of differences, and I don't know. I think it'll just be interesting to see different people's styles and how they do that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back and watching your deck building as well. I mean, for the community or those who may be watching, you know, Joe and I have both been playing Reloaded pretty much since day one, and we know each other because we both live here in the same town. So at some point we ran into each other and have been playing against each other for several years now. So, uh, but that said, as much as we talk about deck building, I don't sit and watch over Joe's shoulder to see exactly how he puts together a deck. So, yeah,
Nope.
I'm excited. So, any closing thoughts?
Nope. I think this is going to be fun, and I think we'll just reconvene after we go through and build our decks, do a short little how to on how we did that, and then we'll go and play them, see how it goes.
All right, fantastic. So we're gonna break here. Joe and I are each gonna go off and separately build our decks. We'll see we'll see how we can put some continuity together here, so you can just watch this and then watch the each of our separate deck building videos, and then go straight into a matchup on Octagon after that. Um, all right, so looking forward to it. Let's break here and see you real soon.
Yep, sounds good.